Hi guys! Welcome to Lines in Between podcast where we talk about faith, mental health, and the life in between. I'm Kath, your host. And today is a very special podcast episode because I'm with a very, very good friend. NJ,
Ayan.
welcome to the
Hello.
podcast.
Thank you for having me. Ay,
Wow.
biglang bumait. Ayan.
So before we start this podcast episode and before we talk about restarting in life, sasagot muna siya ng question dito sa Meaningful Conversations cards. Okay, ang napili niyang question is from Soul. The question is, are you ready?
Sige.
Okay. What do you think your younger self would admire about who you are now?
Ayun. I think something na parang hindi nag-change from yung parang nung pagkabata ko hanggang ngayon is parang when it comes to taking risk, medyo takot pa rin talaga ako. Pero I think what separates me now from who I was before, parang may fear, oo. Parang when it comes to taking risks. Pero ngayon, kumbaga parang mas may courage na to take it. Parang tinitake ko siya with fear. Parang I do it scared. Pero tawag doon, parang siguro yun yung something na tawag doon, parang magiging proud yung younger self ko. Kasi kumbaga, syempre parang when you prevent yourself from taking risks, let alone parang kung marami yan or konti yan, parang you're also preventing yourself to parang discover yung mga opportunities or rewards na if you take those risks. So, I mean, parang, walang assurance kung high reward yung take yung magiging ano after mo i-take yung risk, pero at least you know what's beyond that risk if you take it.
Yes, kasi you will never know unless
Yeah,
you try, di ba?
Exactly.
Okay, for the viewers who saw you for the first time na after nila i-click ng video na to, can you share facts about you? Siguro kahit mga 3 facts about you or share something unique. Who is NJ? Parang ganun yung question.
Okay, sige. Ayun, I'm NJ, nasabi naman na kanina. So, I'm currently worship leader ako sa CCF Imus. Ayan. And I've been doing it for a couple years na rin. Siguro mga since 2018. Although may pause doon in the middle. Tapos, ano pa ba? Current hobby. Wala akong time currently dito, pero Beyblade. Ayan. So, for those people na nagtataka na, uso pa ba yun? Ayan, medyo po. Ayan, so isa po ako doon. And then, pangatlo, siguro, something na magiging probably beneficial to understand yung point of view ko later is nag-iisang anak po ako. So, solo ko lahat ng attention at lahat ng magiging responsibilidad. Ayun, so wala akong kahati.
Okay.
Ayun.
So, you mentioned na solong anak ka. Can you also share the current season you're in? Are you working? Are you a student? Siyempre, alam ko to, pero for the viewers.
Ayan, so I'm currently a student po. So, third year college sa National Teachers College, and I'm taking Bachelor of Secondary Education major in English. Ayan. Third year, second sem, patapos na yung sem.
Yes.
Sana makatagos.
Thank you for sharing that, NJ. So, as we start this conversation, since the title is on restarting in life, can you share a moment in your life where or when you had to restart?
Okay. So, syempre before we get to the part where kailangan mag-restart, bigyan natin ng medyo makapal-kapal na context, no? So, this started from way back 2018. So, ito na yung first time kong pasukin yung college life. Tawag dito, I decided na ang papasukin kong program is Bachelor of Arts in Broadcast Journalism. So, why? Yun. Nung grade 10 hanggang grade 12, nagkaroon ako ng na-involve ako sa broadcasting team nung high school.
RSPC ba to? Mga ganon? DSPC? Ganon?
Nung first 2 years, DS lang.
Okay.
Tapos nung grade 12, yun yung actually naging bigger factor kasi parang yung awards ko ng grade 12, naging enough siya for me to qualify for regionals.
Wow. Okay.
Although nung regionals, medyo kulela tayo doon. Pero alam mo yun, parang since I've been doing it, I've done it for only 3 years, parang all I could think of was, if sinimulan ko to way earlier, parang just imagine, parang medyo may yabang na doon eh. Parang just imagine what more I could have accomplished kung mas nababad ako dito. So nung time na yun, na-embrace ko yung skills eh. Parang na-embrace ko yung idea na tawag dito, parang kaya ko siyang gawin. na-validate naman yun ng mga teammates ko. And na-validate din siya objectively kasi nanalo nga tayo ng awards, nakapag-qualify for regional. So, syempre, parang talent is something na parang magugulat ka kasi maraming taong may ganun. So, yun yung something na parang I wished I could have developed a lot more. So, yung curiosity na yun and yung momentum ko na yun, parang naisip ko na magka-college na ako. And currently, parang confused pa rin ako sa dalawang bagay. Una, kung saan ako mag-school. And pangalawa, kung ano yung take kong program pagdating doon. Kasi parang dito na yung part na even yung mga kaklase ko, may mga, parang nauna sila mag-decide before pa. Pero hindi na yun yung, kumbaga, wala na akong desire na samahan sila parang for the sake na, parang samahan sila sa program na yun for the sake na makasama ko lang sila. So at this time, I was trying to find kung ano yung para talaga sa akin.
Okay.
So again, since nasa momentum tayo, what if parang sabi ko, ito na yung skills na ginagawa ko eh. Parang, tag dito, meron akong boses, meron akong capability to do this thing. Why not mag-gamble ako dun sa idea for me to do this for the rest of my life? So, sa madaling salita, pumasok tayo ng broadcast journalism. Since ang gusto rin kasi ni Mama that time, within Cavite lang ako mag-aral.
Okay.
And sa Lasal Dasma, doon na nag-exist yung program na yun. Specifically, broadcast journalism because in other schools, journalism, broadcasting, broadcast communication, masscom, ganyan. Dito, broadcast and journalism na pinagsama. And parang sobrang meaningful dun for me. Kasi syempre parang, yun yung ginagawa ko eh, radio broadcasting. So, sumama tayo doon. And then, two major conversations happened. So, una, interview. Yung interview ko yung upon enrollment. So, interview ka, then mag-enroll. So, yung nag-interview sa akin that time is yung associate dean nung College of Liberal Arts and Communication. Yun yung college namin that time. And then, syempre, sa interview, tatanungin kayo, parang, of all the programs, why broadcast journalism? So, bakit ito? Parang may communication naman. Or may ibang course naman na medyo practical. Ganun. Kasi hindi talaga practical lahat ng arts major. So, syempre, parang the reason na binigay ko sa kanya is the same reason but yung sinabi ko kanina na grade 10 to 12, nagkaroon ng experience na ganito, kaya ko magbasa ng balita, ganyan, maganda boses ko, ganun. And to the point na pinag-sample pa ako nung associate dean, like kumuha siya ng school newspaper. And ang nakakatawa kasi that time, hindi ko pa gamit talaga yung speaking when it comes to English. Tinanong niya pa ako kung anong language yung inaano mo ng broadcasting. Sabi ko, Filipino. O, ito English, basahin mo. So sabi ko, nung binasa ko talaga yun, sobrang nahirapan ako kasi may name pa doon na hindi ako familiar. Like, hindi siya Filipino or American name. Like, sobrang, hindi ko na maalala kung ano yun. Basta, all I know is sobrang butchered nung version na binasa ko doon. Pero eventually, ayun nga, parang binalik niya ako doon sa sagot ko na tawag dito. Parang nandito ako kasi meron akong skills. Nandito ako kasi nag-DS ako, nag-RSPC ako, ganyan. And then he told me, you're not the only one. Parang there were many before you who have the same, if not better experience than you. Kasi, which is eventually napatunayan ko din yung sinasabi niya kasi may mga klase akong nakaabot ng nationals. Okay. So, pero nung time kasi nung sinagot niya sa akin yun, syempre interview yun eh. Parang kahit anong klaseng interview, especially sa job interviews, parang hindi yan nakadesign to comfort you, to encourage you na mag-apply dito. Parang some of those questions and responses are meant to kind of intimidate you para lang matest kung gusto mo pa talaga dito. Parang is this really what you want? So, nung time na yun, medyo binrush off ko lang. Pero I remembered yung sagot niya. Kasi, medyo ayun, parang even yung personality nung associate din, medyo intimidating din.
Okay.
So, I'm not, parang hindi ko maayos kung he really meant it or
was he only discouraging
parang
you?
part lang ng script, gano'n. Parang part lang ng character niya, gano'n. So, ayun, so that was the first major conversation. And the second one, first day ng class ko sa journalism principles. Hindi verbatim yung pangalan ng program, pero yun yung naalala ko kasi, journalism principles. So again, tinanong, bakit journalism? Bakit broadcast journalism yung tinake mong program? So, syempre, part yun ng introduction. So, introduce yourself, saan ka galing school, strand din siguro ata, then yung reason kung bakit. And at that time, ready ako. na ang sasagot ko is the same exact reason yung nang sinabi ko sa associate dean. Kasi wala namang ibang reason, yun lang talaga. And then na-surprise ako kasi parang una pa lang na tumayo. Sinabi niya na he wants to be a journalist kasi gusto niyang mag-serve sa Philippines and i-protect yung truth and i-preserve yun. Because, it's not dito, parang hindi naman unknown fact na yung truth is something that can be twisted, especially
Yes.
sa ng journalism, sa media, ganyan. So as an aspiring journalist, gusto niya daw ma-preserve yun to actually deliver kung ano yung truth. And medyo synonymous yun na parang isa-isa sila, ganun yung tawag dito, ganun yung reasons nila. Then palapit na sa akin. Sabi ko, wala pa ako naririnig na same reason or at least kahit paano kasing babaw lang nung sa akin. Ganun.
So mostly sinasabi nila, they want to protect what is true.
Yeah. So, nung time na ako na yung tatayo, I have two choices.
Okay.
So, it's either I say the same thing or gagayahin ko lang sa kanila para di ako mapahiya. So, syempre, ginaya ko sila para di ako mapahiya. So, sabi ko nun din, parang I want to serve the Philippines din po. Tsaka, yung truth. Di ko na sinabi na nag-qualify ako sa ARS, ganyan-ganyan. Kasi, ayun nga, parang una, mababaw siya. Yun yung na-notice ko nung sinabi nila. Yung pangalawa, naalala ko yung sagot ng associate din sa akin. Like, ano ngayon kung nag-ARS, kami mga katabi ko nag-national students, nag-place doon. Like, as in may nakuha silang award doon. So, yung dalawang major conversations na yun, they were enough for me to realize na I should be elsewhere. Kasi, na-enjoy ko yung mga activities, don't get me wrong. Alam na mga klase ko yan na yung lahat ng individual directing, lahat ng tag dito, lahat ng radio drama, yung paggawa ng script nun, lahat ng news news briefs namin na sinulat tsaka ni-report, na-enjoy ko yun lahat. Kasi in-enjoy ko rin naman yun ng grade 10 to 12 ako. Pero one thing is missing. Whenever I imagine myself beyond graduation, pag natanggap ko na yung diploma, where do I imagine myself after kung matapos to? And this is a conversation na madalas na mapag-usapan namin magkakaklase. Iba sa kanila gustong mag-cover ng Congress, gustong mag-TV, gustong mag-radio, or social media, maging DJ. Kasi, tawag dito, parang yung broadcast journalism naman, it gives you a lot of parang wiggle room pag nakapag-graduate ka. Parang since broadcast and journalism, parang not necessarily kailangan maging journalist ka. So, pwede kang maging DJ, maging sa podcast, ganyan. But the thing is, hindi ko mahanapan yung sarili ko ng any specific area. Like at that time, may interest ako sa sports, ganyan. Nanonood ako ng basketball ng NBA. So parang yun na lang yung naging default answer ko. Siguro sports, commentator, ganun, sports analyst, ganyan. Pero in my hearts of hearts, hindi ko pa masyadong, alam mo yun, parang pinipilit ko lang yung sarili ko na i-imagine na dito ako.
Okay.
Pero I'm not excited, I'm not looking forward. Takot pa nga ako na pag-graduate ko, ano ba talaga gagawin ko dito? So, after ng first semester, I came to this initial decision na after kong tapusin yung unang year dito, alis na ako. I'll shift programs. And yun na lang, parang...
What program?
Ayun, yung program ko ngayon, which is yung
Okay.
education. Although at that time, parang wala pa akong decision kung anong major, ganyan. All I know is gusto ko na lang maging teacher ulit because this is a dream that I had nung grade 10 pa lang ako. Before pala mag-grade 10. So imagine yung timing. Una, gusto ko maging teacher. Afterwards, na introduce ako sa field ng radio broadcasting. So medyo na-distract tayo dun sa kasi na-discover ko yung something new about me na kaya ko pala gawin to. So ayun, parang yun yung naging initial decision ko. Second semester, doon na pumasok ang lover boy era natin. So, I had this girl that I had a relationship with before. And nung na-share ko sa kanya yung plan na yun, not totally naman na sinabi niya sa akin na, wag, parang dito ka na lang, ganyan-ganyan. Pero she did express the idea na she'd be happier if I stayed dun sa program. Kasi syempre, magkaklase na kami, araw-araw kami magkikita, ganyan-ganyan. So, syempre, imbis na magstay, imbis na sumunod tayo sa plano natin, imbis na lumipat, nagstay na lang ako. So sabi ko, sige, ang naging plan B ko nun, tapusin ko yung to hanggang 4th year, and then after that, magkitake ko ng education units pag hindi talaga nag-work sa akin yung broadcast journalism. So I give it a try. So I really gave a lot of chances sa program na yun. But still, I enjoyed the activities. I enjoyed all, parang learning more about it. Pero I couldn't imagine myself outside. Parang sabi ko nun, kung may option lang sana na pag-aralan ko na lang to, okay na yun eh. Pero hindi yung reality. After 4th year, after I graduate, after ko hubarin yung toga, anong gagawin mo after? So, ayun, parang naging plan B ko na lang. Yung dream ko talaga. And then, the pandemic happened. So, lahat ng modality nun ng classes nag-shift sa online. And even to this day, weakness ko yun. Easily distracted ako pag online classes. Kasi syempre, may mga tabs. Pwede ka mag-open ng kung ano na dyan. And madali ako mainip pag online classes. Parang sobrang nakukulangan ako sa engagement na meron doon. So, attention span, wala agad. Tapos, syempre, stressful din talaga yung pandemic in general. Then, eventually, it got worse. Nung, syempre, nag-pandemic, parang March yata, no? Late March.
2020.
Ganyan. Yeah, 2020. And then, 3 months later, my dad passed away. So, this is where everything in my life parang naging worse. And everything became the worst talaga. So, lahat ng kinakastresan kong bagay nung pandemic, mas bumigat palalo. And that affected all areas of my health. Mental, emotional, even physical. Kasi parang yun na yung time na sirang-sira na yung body clock ko kahit wala naman akong graveyard shift. Ang tulog ko, ang tulog ko 12 p.m. hanggang 7. So, gising ako ng gabi. So, ang mangyayari nun, online class, papasok ako, matutulog na lang ulit ako. So, ayun. So, ayun nga, parang since I've been dealing with grief alongside the classes, parang napuno ko sa lahat ng bagay. So, pumutok lahat ng limits ko. Kunyari, sa klase, since hindi na ako nakapag-perform ng maayos, as in to the point na, at that time, yung girl na meron tayong relationship with, kaya ako sa ginagano kasi no label yun, admittedly, siya yung gumagawa ng ibang assignments. Kasi hindi ko talaga kaya. So, parang, tinry ko pa nga mag-drop nung first semester ng 3rd year. Pero, syempre, parang sayang yung pera. So, continue ko pa rin. Pero nung 2nd year, doon ko na feel na parang if I continue even for another day, I don't know what's going to happen.
You lose it. Parang ganon.
Parang feeling ko I lose myself in the process. So, doon na ako nag-decide na I have to drop everything. So, not to extend yung details ng lahat ng area na yun, pero I dropped everything. Yung school, nag-awol ako doon. Yung relationship, nag-end na rin. We ended it mutually. Then, ministry, discipleship, and even my presence sa church, nawala yung lahat. All for, kumbaga tinrade ko yung lahat for, parang for the sake of me taking a break. And that break lasted for 2 years. And sa 2 years na yun, I felt like I lost not just a part of me, parang I lost the entirety of me. Parang di ko nakilala yung sarili ko, di ko na alam kung ano yung kaya kong gawin, ano yung gusto kong gawin, ganun. And so 2021 to, nung nag-stop ako. So until 2023, hindi ako nag-aral nun. And 2022, nag-message sa akin yung professor ko, si Sir Artin, shoutout, kung mapanood mo to. Kasi love na love ko yan. So si Sir Artin, nag-chat siya sa akin, telling me na, kailan mo balak bumalik ng school? Kailan mo balak mag-continue ulit? He asked kasi, if I don't return sa school year 2022 to 2023, hindi na ako makakapag-continue sa program namin in a normal class setup. What do I mean by that? Kasi tawag dito, yung batch after namin, sila na yung last batch ng broadcast journalism. Kasi yung batch namin, 15 lang kaming students, nabawasan pa ng isa kasi nag-shift yung isa sa amin. Na dapat sana 13 na lang kami kasi sasama ako sa kanya. So naging 15 kami ng una, tapos mas konti pa yung sumunod sa amin.
Okay.
Yung sumunod sa kanila mas konti din. Pero hindi na siya umabot sa quota.
So mawawala na yung program
Yes,
nyo?
oo. Kasi yung batch sana dapat na hasabayan ko sana noong 2023, pinalipat sila lahat ng communication and sinuspend na yung program at that time for re-evaluation, and eventually na-rebrand naman yun. Pero nung that time talaga, parang yun, doon na ako napilitan mag-decide. Kasi parang sabi ko, okay, parang if I'm going to secure myself a spot na makagraduate, kahit papaano, 1 year late lang, hindi ako sure, and hindi, parang I'm sure na hindi ako ready at that time. I'm sure na physically, mentally, emotionally, hindi pa ako stable enough to go through. Let alone nung time na yun, hindi pa nag-face-to-face talaga, online pa rin naman. So parang babalikan ko dyan yung something na kinabaliwan ko din nung nag-pandemic. So, and ayun, financially, hindi rin, hindi rin talaga, kumbaga healthy since, syempre, before pa naman mag-pass away si Papa, marami rin nangyari. So, he underwent a lot of sickness, ganyan, na-stroke siya, tapos nagkaroon pa siya ng problem sa kidney. Then, and ayun, parang hindi rin basta-basta yung tuition kasi. So, ayun, parang nagsabi ako sa professor ko, sadly, hindi po muna talaga. And yung option na naiwan sa akin doon, if magko-continue ulit ako doon sa program na yun, is tutorial. So, yung tutorial, ikaw lang mag-isa. Okay, kumbaga parang custom yung klase mo doon, one-on-one lang kayo ng professor mo, unless may kasama ka, may kahati. Pero kasi, sobrang specific ng situation, wala akong kasabay talaga nun. And even yung isa kong classmate din na nag-stop, nauna siyang mag-stop sa akin, wala pa rin siyang balak mag-continue din talaga. So, bukod sa mahal na nga yung tuition, mas magiging mahal pa yun sa tutorial. Hindi ko kayang, parang hindi namin kaya yun ni mama na tawag dito, parang i-go through. So, ayun, parang 1 year, dun sa 2 years na yun, yung latter half. Especially nung time na feel ko ready na ulit ako.
What year?
2023 specifically. January pa lang. Parang sabi ko, siyempre ano yun parang andun na yung medyo placebo-esque na, siyempre 2023, New Year, di ba?
Yes.
Parang ano kaya pwede kong gawin ngayon, ano kaya pwede kong look forward. Pero at that time naman, parang I'm sure rin naman na parang gusto ko na talaga mag-aral ulit. And then, may dalawa akong options. It's either to take a program na malapit dun sa program ko. Kasi dissolved na siya that time, di pa nare-rebrand yung program na yun. Or, do I risk everything para dun sa para i-take yung plan ko dapat nung first year pa lang ako na lumipat ng program. Dun sa program na talagang I really could imagine myself.
Makes you feel most
Yeah,
alive.
exactly. Parang whenever I do the activities, may enjoy ko yung activities, but also parang look forward na, pagdating ng pag-graduate ako, parang gusto ko magawa yung actual nito. So, pero kasi parang ang dami kong tinitimbang nun. Parang, if magko-communication ako, let's say for example, kasi yun yung isa sa mga pinakamalapit na programs doon, konti na lang yung years. Like if not 1.5 years, kasi yun yung natitira sa akin dati, siguro 2 years man lang, ganyan, kasi maraming mga credit, ganyan, kayang i-summer nung iba doon. Pero if pagbibigyan ko sa sarili ko to live the dream that I had from way back, that's full 4 years. Kasi wala siyang relation sa journalism, so technically back to square one ako. Ang mawawala lang sa akin, yung mga minor subjects na makikredit na. So, parang inopen up ko yun sa mga friends ko, kay mama, ganyan-ganyan. And thankfully naman kay mama, acknowledge niya na mahirap yan. Kasi syempre parang 4 years yun Pero support siya. And alam mo yun, parang having healthy conversations with people talaga really helped kasi parang yun na yung time na okay. Parang I'll take a chance. Like sugal kung sugal. Parang I'll bet everything on myself kasi alam ko na tawag dito. Parang I'll take this risk knowing na gusto ko talaga tong gawin. Not because ito na lang yung option left. Parang there's a lot of options, a lot of easier paths to go through. Pero this is the path that I want. So, ayun, parang that's when and parang how I restarted sa life ko talaga. Ayun.
Ang surprising dyan is, at the start of this podcast episode, you mentioned na this time, what you're proud of yung younger self mo would be proud of you taking the risk,
Yeah.
doing it scared. And that's the last thing I heard sa sinabi mo ngayon.
Mm.
So you mentioned that the dream is your current
Yeah.
course right now.
Mm.
So yung current course mo ay,
Education.
Education.
Secondary education specifically.
ano yung major?
English.
English. Okay. So, I asked you kung ano yung major mo and kung ano yung course mo. Because I was supposed to ask you, what is the dream? But you
Yeah.
already mentioned what's the dream. Ito yung question ko. What gave you the courage to pursue the dream?
Okay. Context ulit. Ayan. So, pupunta muna tayo doon sa reason kung ba't ko siya naging dream and paano. So, summer, before ako mag-grade 10, I was watching this live action ng anime na ang tawag is Great Teacher Onizuka. So, it's not very popular. Even yung anime itself, let alone yung live actions kasi, I mean, live actions medyo ano yun parang shrugged upon sa anime world. Pero, nung napanood ko kasi yun, ang pinaka-context kasi yun, yung main character na naging teacher eventually. Dati siyang member ng gang. Then, naging bagong buhay siya, naging gardener siya ng isang school. And then, tawag doon, parang tawag dito, parang may German suplex siya na principal doon kasi nahuli niyang tinatawag niya isang student na trash. So, parang pinagtanggol niya yung student na yun. And then, hinire siya ng school director kahit wala siyang, alam mo, parang background sa teaching, especially since dati siyang member ng gang, which is well known kasi popular yung ano na yun sa context ng story. Pero basically is parang this is someone with no particular skills at all sa teaching, pero he has all the heart to make an impact sa mga students at that time. And yun yung specifically na nag-strike sa akin nung 15 years old ako na parang I want to have that kind of impact as well. Na you're not just teaching them instructions, grammar rules, kung ano yung tawag doon, kung ano yung parts of the body, yun yung mga klaseng tawag doon, tawag dito, parang bodies of water or types of land, ganyan-ganyan. Pero I also want to make an impact sa mga students na they could benefit from sa pagtanda nila. So, parang upbringing pa lang, meron ng impact, meron ng change, and malilid sila towards parang the best version of themselves. So, tawag dito, parang, ayun, that is something na pinanghawakan ko, especially nung nag-decide na mag-start sa life ko. Parang, kasi syempre, ano yun parang may question yun when you're going to restart na, will it be worth it? So, I have to parang weigh everything na parang, if I take this road, what could I look forward to? And na-imagine ko that time na parang, kung ganito man, parang no matter kung ganito man katagal, yung hihintayin ko ulit just to be there, na sana malapit na ako before pa. Pero if the rewards is me, parang making that kind of impact that I wanted to make years ago, I'll take it. Parang no questions asked. Ayun.
So, asking you now, third year ka na, di ba? Was it worth everything you let go of?
Yes.
You
Actually,
can
parang wala
confidently
pa ako doon. Pero, alam mo yun, parang, yun nga, something na I shared earlier, di ba, na parang sa dati kong program, na-enjoy ko naman yung activities. But then, imagining myself outside was kind of impossible for me to do and to be satisfied of. Pero dito kasi, parang every time na I learn something new, or every time nagagawa ko ng, kunyari, demo teachings, ganyan, teaching demonstrations, then paggawa ng lesson plan, alam mo yung parang every single activity na ginagawa ko sa program ko, parang sobrang rewarding nung feeling. Parang iba-iba yung satisfaction na parang hindi lang siya basta, kunyari, satisfying yung grade, ganyan, even just doing it itself, kahit before pa siya mag-grade and before mo pa makuha yung feedback from your teachers, I really felt na sobrang alive ko nung ginagawa ko siya. Kasi parang, yun nga, parang niisip ko palagi consciously na parang I want to do this for the rest of my life. Parang gusto ko next week ulit, ganun. Pero wag naman sana kasi may vacation pa sa June. So, ayun. So, yun talaga. Parang I could tell that it is worth it kahit hindi ko pa finished yung chapter na to. Kasi parang every page is something that I really want to look back to. Parang sobrang memorable niya in a good way. Ayun.
What do you think would your younger self tell NJ now? Knowing na you pursued this dream and kasi sabi nila dreams start when we're young.
Mm.
So parang, what would you say na ano kaya yung masasabi ng younger self mo ngayon sa kung nasaan ka? I-expect kaya niya to na magti-teacher ka?
Yes, pero I don't think he'll expect the way kung paano ako mag-come up dito sa decision na to. I think he'll question a lot of things na parang a lot of decisions that I made before. Pero especially dun sa NG na nakapanood nung live action series na yun, I think he'll be proud. And siguro parang ang magiging concerns niya lang is bakit sobrang sobrang pinaglaban mo naman yung pagmamahal mo, 'di ba? sobrang people pleaser mo, 'di ba? Kasi again, it's my decision eh. Kasi I want kumbaga to I mean, even until now, may pagka people pleaser pa rin tayo. Pero yun yung something na I think my younger self would be proud of me is because parang tag dito, no matter, alam mo yun, parang nakailang stumble na ako. Parang I made very stupid decisions along the way. Pero I still gave myself a chance. Specifically, I gave my 15-year-old self a chance to pursue this dream. Ayun.
I think also na maging proud yung younger self mo sa'yo. Do you ever feel left behind?
Every day. I mean, just imagine nung 2022 pa lang, like before pa ako mag-restart sa life, I had this period of time na kailangan kong, kumbaga nasa acceptance stage ka na. And this is where I started watching people get past me. Specifically, say for example, in 2022, this is when I am supposed to graduate. And
This year?
2022.
2022.
And this is when I'm supposed to graduate. Meaning, this is when my classmates graduated. And syempre ako, parang kaming dalawa ng klase ko na nag-stop din. We decided to support them. As in, tawag dito, nakakatuwa lang siya i-look back kasi. Bawal talaga kami dun sa loob nung graduation hall kasi hindi kami guest, hindi kami parents, kung hindi kami relatives. Kasi ano pa yun eh, parang although tapos na yung COVID noon, parang pero ano kasi yun eh, parang nag-a-adjust pa lang ulit eh. So medyo limited yung controlled yung number ng people na nandun sa loob. Pero tawag doon, parang hinamak na namin lahat, makapasok lang kami doon, makapag-support lang kami. Pero even though it felt so good to support your friends, to support your classmates, feeling ko nag-walk of shame kami doon. Kasi I'm walking past people na nakatoga kasama mga parents nila, tapos kami mga naka-t-shirt tsaka naka-shorts lang. Naka-black na t-shirt pa ako noon. Tanda ko yun. Tapos parang it felt like I have to deal with this kind of feeling every single year. And it's so ironic to share this right now kasi graduation season ngayon. Or at least, ito na yung mga times na tag dito, yung mga friends mo, nakakilala mo. Na alam mo yun, parang sobrang ahead ko of them eh. Kasi anong year na 2026 na? Kailan ako graduate dapat 2022. So makikita mo yung mga people na ang bata pa before. Tapos ngayon, nag-soft launch na ng mga graduation pictures nila, ganyan. And it feels so, paano ba? Parang siguro hindi naman nila kasalanan, pero siguro just internally, I feel so humiliated. Parang lagi kong nilook back na ang dami kong decisions na minake before and hindi minake. And I could have parang spared myself on feeling this grief na parang every time may gagraduate, hindi ko ma-celebrate yun for them. And I felt, nakaka-guilty siya sobra. Na parang hindi ko na rin sila ma-congratulate kasi I know na I won't mean it. Not because parang hindi ko sineselebrate yung victory nila, pero kasi every time someone celebrates something na I know na I could have reached before, parang lagi kong thinking is dapat andun ka din. Parang I feel like I'm looking, alam mo yun, parang nasa agaw bitin, tas parang lahat kayo tumalon, tas wala kang nakuwang candy. Tas lahat sila na, parang lahat sila may nasalo sa damit nila, sa kamay nila, ganun. So parang I'm feeling like I'm watching somebody's prayer get answered and I'm still on my knees. So ayun, parang hindi ko, every time I think na parang, na-overcome ko na yung feeling na left behind ako. Pero every time I see someone celebrating, I see someone being congratulated, I always wish na nandun ako sa spot nila. So, ayun, yun yung something na hindi ko talaga made-deny. Especially right now. Ayun. Yun talaga.
I feel for you because we made this previous podcast episode, it's called Celebrating the Wins, Grieving the Losses. I made that podcast episode nung pumasa ng board exam yung kuya ko. So, architecture licensure exam yun. Tapos ako, bumagsak ako 2023. Tapos siya, pumasa siya 2025. Tapos, ang sabi niya kasi noon that time, na tatry ko lang, magte-take lang ako. Tapos wala siyang expectation, pero pumasa siya. Tapos ako noon, syempre, ako yung bumagsak mga 2 years ago bumagsak ako. So, I feel for you because you want to celebrate their win. But you just can't deal with the fact that I'm so grieved na wala ako sa posisyon mo. I'm so grieved that na gusto ko ring i-celebrate ako. So, I feel for you in that area, but I can't really imagine how it feels. I can't imagine how you feel. Kasi, ang context niyan ay magkakabatch tayo, di ba?
Yeah.
Sa husband ko, si Jet. So, ang context niyan ay magkakabatch tayo nung nag-start din kami nag-start ako mag-attend ng church. So, even if hindi mo pa siya fully overcome, what would you say to someone feeling left behind?
Okay, so doon man tayo sa term na feeling left behind. Because a lot of people would tell you, and a lot of people told me naman, parang you are not left behind. Pero kasi whenever I try to convince myself na hindi ako left behind, personally, it's not really helping. Because no matter how I look at my situation, I really am left behind. So that is something na I think it's healthy for you to accept. And when you look at other people, they're ahead of you. Parang, nyari ako sa context ko, parang my friends are graduating, my friends are getting engaged, getting married. Tawag dito parang promoted na sa mga careers na sa jobs nila. And even those people na pinunood ko yung graduation na ng 2022, right now, they're TV reporters. Yung iba sa kanila na-invite na sa iba't ibang school to speak. And I'm here still crawling for the dream. Although na hindi naman tayo similar ng dreams, pero kumbaga, parang ini-enjoy nyo na yung rewards ng dreams nyo, and I'm still here. Parang trying to grab it. So I think for those people who feel left behind, you acknowledge first na parang it doesn't kumbaga make you any less if you accept na you are left behind. If you compare yourself to other people. Pero dito mo kasi siya titignan. When you're taking this path kasi nag-restart ka sa life mo, you have to remind yourself na that is your own path. That path is yours and wala kang kasamang maglakad doon. Yes, you are left behind if you think na everybody is on the same path tapos kailangan hahabol ka sa kanila. Parang tawag dito, everybody is running on their same paths. And hindi ka nauna ng kahit sino kasi ikaw lang yun nandun. Parang whatever dream, whatever future is set for you, or parang is ahead of you, that's yours. Parang walang nakaagaw nun sa'yo, walang nakauna nun sa'yo. And siguro something na sobrang helpful din for me to really accept yung situation ko and to really be excited dun sa magiging future. Na, yun kasi naging fear ko before. Kapag graduate ba ako, parang masaselebrate ko ba siya ng maigi? O parang feeling ko, okay lang. I mean, bare minimum, dapat 2022 pa to eh.
Isi-celebrate ka namin.
Dapat.
We'll throw a party for you.
Ayan. Pero ayun nga, something na naka-help sa akin. So, tawag dito, may nag-speak dun sa school namin. Actually, this was just a month or 2 ago. Tapos parang, for Women's Month, yung event. So parang syempre iniisip ko doon time. Nandun kasi ako to cover, just to cover para sa campus journalism na subject namin. So I wasn't there expecting na I'd be inspired directly Parang syempre I'd be inspired to know na parang may mga people na nag-sign up for women, ganyan-ganyan. Pero at least directly to me, parang I don't expect na may something ako mababaon dito and really apply it in my life.
Yes.
And then someone mentioned about the difference between direction and distance. So, somewhat parang about restarting din siya eh. na parang figuring out kung ano ba talaga yung dapat para sa'yo, ano ba yung gusto mong gagawin. And you will feel left behind. You will feel very frustrated and disappointed if you think about the distance. Kasi right now, especially since nag-start tayo 2018, sobrang laki na nung distance na tawag doon, na parang ginapang ko that time. And if I compare my distance to other people, sobrang layo ng gap talaga. As in, ang layo. Pero the thing is, you have to remember na your direction means more than your distance. Na oo, parang if you look at the distance between your point and dun sa pupuntahan mo, or sa napuntahan na ng iba, ang liit lang nung nalakad nila. Pero the thing is, as long as you're getting closer to who you really are supposed to be, that's what matters. Kahit ilang years pa yan, kahit buong buhay mo gapangin mo yan, as long as you're doing something that makes you feel alive, as long as you're doing something that you want, and parang doesn't give you a pile of regrets every day na parang hindi ka dapat nandito, parang nandito ka lang kasi forced ka. Parang if you're doing this because you want to, that's what really matters. So, if you feel left behind, especially if you're doing this kasi this is what you believe is you. Parang ikaw to eh. Parang this path is yours. Oo, mahaba yung lalakarin mo, bumalik ka ulit doon. Pero you have to do it acknowledging that you are left behind. Pero only if you look at other people's paths, which is not yours. You focus on yours, lakarin mo yun. And when you get to your destination, that's when you realize na it's the best decision you've ever made. Na you focus on your direction, hindi ka nag-focus sa distance. Kasi imagine if, parang, say for example, on a, kahit di naman tayo naniniwala sa multiverse na yan. Pero if there is another universe of me na tinake yung unang, tawag dito, unang option na mag-take ng something na papasa ako na maaga. Kasi I actually had that option dahil sa friend ko si David. Ayan. So meron kasi siyang tawag dito, parang pinasukan na college and homeschool siya. And meron siyang journalism na program. And self-paced yun. So parang may sa akin doon na pwede ulit akong mag-shift. Tapos 1 year na lang. Kaya kong tawag doon, parang kaya kong i-speedrun to lahat. Kasi I'm something familiar with naman. Pero isipin ko, iti-trade ko yung 4 years sa 1 year doing something that I don't want to do. Doing something na after kong mag-graduate, ano ngayon pagkatapos mag-graduate? Parang what comes after? Instead of parang taking the dream na alam kong after nun, merong isa pang dream na uusbong. So, ayun, siguro tagdon for those people who feel left behind. I know how it feels to be left behind. Hindi ko man alam kung ano yung reason kung ba't you feel left behind, pero no matter how big the risk is, take it. Ayun. Parang I don't promise it will be easy because it's not for me. Pero every single step that you take, you would guarantee na sobrang worth it nun. Ayun.
And every single step that you take leads you closer to who you should become.
Yes, actually. Parang feel mo nakikilala mo ulit yung sarili mo. Parang, ito pala yun. Parang hindi lang siya, parang, it's a mixture of discovering something new about yourself and rediscovering something that you knew about yourself all along and you just, parang somehow forgot.
Nandun pala. Hindi mo lang napansin na nandun pala. Last question.
Okay.
Kung merong mga students na nanonood or nagsuschool pa sila and mamimili na sila ng course nila.
Yeah.
Since this is about restarting in life, and you mentioned na you could have made alternative decisions before na mas shorten pa yung hindi shorten yung distance pero yung alam mo agad kung saan ka papunta. Kasi you mentioned distance and direction. Yung alam mo agad kung saan ka papunta. Paano ba sila mamimili ng kunwari, course nila sa college? This is a very practical question na I'm asking. Only because kapag pipili tayo ng course, di ba 18 tayo? So, in reality, in context, our brain is not yet fully developed.
Yeah.
Pero pipili na tayo ng ano talaga yung career path na iti-take mo. Or ano yung, at least, ano yung diploma na magkakaroon ka. Again, I made this podcast episode with you and I'm making it with you because we had a conversation sa sasakyan na kasama si Jetro, my husband, about me not taking the boards. So, for context, I took up BSCE, so Civil Engineering in college. And earlier this year, I really wanted to take the boards to make my parents proud. Tapos, while I was reviewing, I was filled with so much, hindi grief sorrow. Alam mo yun? Yung parang you're so sorrowful na ito yung ginagawa mo. And it's supposed to make me fulfilled.
Yeah.
Because I'm pursuing something na kumbaga aligned naman sa path na kung nasan ako ngayon.
Yeah.
But I decided not to take it for the reason that I wanted to pursue my dream. Kaya nung nagkausap tayo sa sasakyan, I asked you questions. Sabi ko, paano mo napag-decidean na iyon yung pipiliin mo na path, na nilet go mo kung ano yung nasa harapan mo na mga 1 year na lang, gagraduate ka na, tinrade mo yun sa 4 years mag-aaral ka ulit. So we had this conversation and I asked you if we can make a podcast episode about it. So here we are, dito na tayo. Kaya gusto ko sana, yung ending question natin is a practical one. Like, what would you say to someone na pipili pa lang siya ng, it's either career or course? Parang, what would your advice be? Paano ba magkaroon ng courage na piliin kung ano talaga yung makes you feel most alive and makes you feel most you?
Okay. So siguro let's first acknowledge two things. Because since ito very highly contextual kasi yung question and kung paano i-apply nito nung makikinig. Like, we live in, kumbaga parang since nabanggit mo na yung practicality, it's something that's very inevitable. No? Parang, it depends kasi kung ano yung pa-priority mo Parang, you could have this very particular dream na alam mo yun, parang only achievable if the world is perfect. So, there are those kinds of dreams. Pero, sometimes naman, yung dream na yun, right now, especially if, kunyari, doon ka nga sa part na magka-college ka na ganyan. Pero, if you take that, parang if you make that decision right now, alam mo na mahirap siyang i-pull off kasi siguro walang assurance doon sa opportunities or even sa salary, ganyan-ganyan. So, ayun nga, parang sobrang highly contextual niya. So, you have to balance really yung practicality and kumbaga yung personal dream mo. Pero here's the thing. If ever dumating sa point na, kunyari, so for example, gusto mo mag-pursue ng music or anything arts-related na program. Pero since parang kumbaga your situation in life demands a lot of practicality and a lot of parang assurance na kailangan mo mag-take ng program na alam mong currently in demand pa, ganun. Parang alam mo na magiging stable yon. Right now, you give that a chance. Maybe. I mean, again, very highly contextual. Pero, if na-push ka sa decision to take something very practical, one thing na I really want you to hold on to is na wag mong ilibing yung dream na yun. Like, you give yourself a chance someday na when, I mean, the world is never gonna be perfect. Pero at least if your means, kumbaga parang nabigyan ka ng opportunity to pursue that dream na hindi mo na-pursue before, you take that chance. So, ayun, parang in a perfect world, kung ano yung gusto mong gawin mo na. Kung ano yung gusto mong i-pursue mo na. Pero, sometimes we are forced to adapt.
Yeah.
Sometimes we are forced to, parang to pick dun sa mga choices na naiwan lang sa atin. And yung mga bagay na gusto nating kunin, parang out of arm's reach pa. Pero someday, pag nasa harapan mo na yun, I suggest you take it. Because, I know that you'll thank yourself for it eventually. Ngayon, if you're someone naman na you made a lot of unfortunate decisions which led to you being stuck in the same spot that I was stuck before na, yun nga, parang you had to restart, ganyan-ganyan. Again, parang I would suggest for you to, parang not literally to do what I've done, Pero if may chance ka na gawin yung gusto mong gawin, magagawa mo yun. Gawin mo yun. Parang don't sacrifice tag dito, parang your enjoyment. Di enjoyment yung tamang term eh. Pero don't sacrifice the feeling of being alive when you're doing that thing for convenience. Parang 1 year na lang gagraduate ka na. Parang isang sem na lang gagraduate ka na. It's very, again, paulit-ulitin ko na contextual siya. Pero trading a lot of time for something that you know that you want to do and something that you define yourself for, I think it's parang it's worth taking a shot. Na tawag dito, mag-restart ka na kung mag-restart ka. Because once na hindi mo i-take yung chance na yan, you'll never know if yung opportunity na yun will present itself for you at all. Parang, ayun nga. So, ayun, if you're someone, na student ka, currently, if nahirapan ka pumili ng program, you have to figure out kung ano yung gusto mong gawin. What do you really imagine yourself? Parang, hindi lang sa skills because skills are parang, alam mo yun, parang you could be someone na ang dami mong skills. Parang lahat ng program pwede mo i-take, tas parang you'll be capable. Pero it's really different when we talk about what you really want to do.
Yes.
What makes you feel alive. Because for example, parang kaya mo maging, parang magaling ka sa math. Magaling ka mag-drawing, ganyan-ganyan. Pero what you really want to pursue is, for example, gusto mo talagang may passion ka for dancing, may passion ka for music, ganun-ganun. So, if you have the means to take that, you take that. So, ayun, parang it's a balance really of everything. Pero bottom line is, whatever your dream is, like your own personal dream, don't rob yourself of the opportunity to take it someday. Regardless kung ano pang panahon yan. Whether you're young, you're old, as long as sa buong lifespan mo, bigyan mo ng chance yung sarili mo to live that dream. Ayan.
You know, I remember this story before na I was talking to a mentor sa Bible Study Fellowship. BSF yun eh, naalala ko. Nagka-classes ako doon. Ay, classes or Bible study. Yun, nagka-Bible study ako doon. Nirefer ako ng discipleship group leader ko. Tapos I met this woman. So, nagkatrabaho na siya. Tapos, I was telling her na 4th year college ako, I wanted to drop out. Never ko to na-share yata sa'yo eh.
Yeah.
Basta
First time
4th year college ako, last sem ko na.
Okay.
Gusto ko mag-drop kasi ayoko talagang mag-engineering. So 4th year ako, na-realize ko, ayoko maging engineer. Ayoko ng engineering, ayoko to lahat, ganyan. Tapos eto na rin yung time na hindi na ako halos makapasa. I say hindi na ako halos makapasa kasi alam mo yung passing 60-48 ka lang. Ganon. Dumadating na ako sa punto na awa na lang ng Diyos kung bakit ako nakakapasa. Na parang willing yung professor ibabay from 60 to 40. So sumabit pa ako, naka 48 ako eh. Yung mga ganong bagay na parang ang daming indications that time that I wasn't really for it. So I told this mentor, sabi ko sa mentor na to, gusto ko na po talaga mag-drop eh. I want to tell my parents, I'm just gonna study again. I acknowledge that it was because I had privileges.
Yeah.
Na not a lot of people meron. So yun, establish ko yun. Meron akong privilege. So sinabi ko sa mentor na yun na, ayoko na po talaga eh. Like, ayoko na talaga. Parang, I remember, lagi ako nagbe-breakdown noon na why do I need to do this? Ang mga na-enjoy ko lang na activity doon is if we had to write a report or present something, ganyan. Naalala ko that time na lagi pa akong ina-acknowledge ng mga group of friends ko kapag nagpe-present kami. Sabi niya, galing mo naman mag-present. Tapos sabi ko, sana nga puro presentation na lang to eh. Bakit pa kasi mag-engineer? Tapos alam mo yung nararamdaman ko yung sinasabi mo kanina na lahat sila passionate. Gusto talaga nilang maging engineer. Tapos ako noon, parang hindi. Gusto ko na pa talaga mag-drop out. Yun. Tapos sabi niya sa akin, kaya ang ganda na sinasabi mo kanina na highly contextual. Yun. Parang hindi siya same for everybody. hindi mo siya maa-apply for every case. Kasi sabi niya sa akin that time, 1 sem na lang. Tapusin mo na. And tignan natin kung saan ka ililid ni God after. Sabi niya, ano pa talagang gusto mo? You'll be surprised. Because I told her, gusto ko po broadcast journalism. Sinabi ko sa kanya that time. Ang reason lang kung bakit journalism, because I wanted to write. I so badly wanted to write.
Yeah.
Na I want to... And high school kasi, I write for the school paper. So, I so badly wanted to write na parang inisip ko, yun lang yung path. So, hindi ko na yung creative writing na mga course, ganyan. Hindi ko siya naiisip pa dati. Basta gusto ko lang umalis sa engineering. Kahit basta hindi engineering, ganon. What God taught me that time was, you may have had unfortunate decisions, which is to take this path, yung engineering. Like you said, unfortunate decisions. But I will eventually lead you to where I want you to go. I'm not saying mag-pursue kayo ng something na hindi nyo gusto. If you have the chance, if you have the privilege, go do it, like you said. Go do it. But if lumipas na yung isang chance na yun, which is yung course in college, there is still hope. And God is gonna redeem the years you've lost.
Exactly.
So, hindi huli ang lahat at hindi nagtatapos yun sa hindi ko kasi siya na-take nung college. So, kung merong nakikinig na tapos mo na yung college, you don't have the privilege to study again, or you don't have the same privilege as you na mag-shift ng course, if tapos ka na or if matatapos ka na, just know that He will restore the years that you lost. The time may have passed, but He can redeem those lost years. And totoo yung sinasabi mo na as long as you know where you're going, yung direction, alam mo, each step will lead you closer to that, to who you are supposed to become. So yun, I guess I'm so encouraged by our conversation because it is also God's confirmation for me. Yung conversation natin na yun sa sasakyan na I was so inspired that you chose your dream kasi not a lot of people, hindi lang walang privilege but not a lot of people have the courage to actually choose what they have always dreamt of.
Yeah.
So, thank you so much, NJ, for being here. I am so excited for people to hear this podcast episode because your story and your vulnerability is such a gift to this podcast. Thank you so much for watching this podcast episode. We hope you enjoyed. If you did, please give this a thumbs up or comment down below your thoughts, your suggestions, or your reactions to our podcast episode. Thank you again, and we will see you on our next episode. Bye!